Maharaj, Madhava Krishna, Prabhu, and all the present Vaishnavas, my humble obeisances to your lotus feet and to your Guru Varga, Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha Ki Jai. Today I was meditating on my god sister, Ladini. Ladini, she was a martyr. She left the world while preaching in Africa, in a country called Libya. I think no, Libya, no, not Libya. Liberia. At that time, when she went to preach there, there was a kind of a military coup, and the dictator became a kind of a military young commander called Johnson. So the devotees, they were distributing lots of prasadam there. Mr. Johnson, he met the devotees as they were distributing prasadam, and he told them, come to my office, I will give you all facility for doing prasadam distribution. So the government, this dictator, he gave the devotees money and car facility for doing prasadam distribution. But then as the time went on, this guy Johnson, he started killing people left and right. And this god sister of mine, Ladini, because she had a personal relationship with him, she felt that she could give him a good advice. So I don't know if she spoke to him or she wrote a letter to him, said, please manage this country without killing so many people. So the Mr. Johnson got very upset that these Krishnas were trying to give advice to him. So they went to the temple and they arrested all the men. And also the women, they arrested everybody. So they took them to the mountain. Adini was there, and this Johnson guy was there personally. So then the John said all the men should be shot, the women should be let free. Then Ladini, she jumped in front of the man and said, please don't kill these devotees, they're God's servants. Don't do that. That's very, very, very bad. So then the Johnson personally pulled a pistol and killed my god sister Ladini. So she became a martyr of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. She really, to save her god brothers and devotees, she put her own life on line. First of all, being a pioneer. She was American born, and she went to Africa to preach, to help the devotees who were there those days, Bhakti Tirtha Swami and Ramananda Swami and others. So this is one thing which came to my mind when I heard about people who have sacrificed themselves for spreading Krishna consciousness in this world. There may not be so many cases like this, but I know that in Russia, our god brothers and god sisters, for many years, they were persecuted, they were put in jail, in mental hospitals. Same thing happened in East Berlin when Ekadas was caught by the police, the first disciple of Prabhupada in Eastern Germany. He was locked up in a working camp but finally he chanted so many rounds, he was released, they sent him to the West. Anyhow, that was one case of this new year of Vishwa Vaishnava. It is very wonderful to see all the participation of everybody. I hope we can continue the Zoom calls and also other meetings in India, here and there, to just intensify the friendship between all the Vaishnavas. Friendship and love between Vaishnavas is the most natural things. Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha is the vision of our Guru Varga, our Srila Jiva Goswami, and it is for the purpose of helping each other whenever the need arises. Actually, Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha stands for our common goals. It doesn't stand for individual missionary situations, problems, or this or that. No, it stands for our common goals, where all of us are concerned. The Bhakti Grantha, the Bhakti Tirthas, the spiritual or the situation of preaching around the world, if any devotee is being put into problems, like it happened in Poland, like it happened in Russia. You know, by my point of view, the Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha has such a great importance, but it's only felt when there's a real need. When there's no need, people think, oh yes, they're having a meeting, maybe I go, maybe I don't go. Because the meeting have a certain symbolic character. Of course, if we get to hear our current acharyas to give insights, to give spiritual understanding, then it is a very great gift for all of us. And just that such a platform exists is a very great, merciful manifestation from our Guru Varga. So, but when there's some difficulties, then this unity or this one word, you know, we are representing the Vaishnava world religion. A world religion is different than a small little group of people believing in something or another. There are so many groups in the world, they believe so many things. And we all believe, even though we have so many different missions and so many different spiritual masters, we all believe in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the Bhagavatam, in the Bhagavad Gita. We all believe that we are our Yuga Dharma is to chant the holy name of Krishna. We all believe in that distribution of prasadam is the best way to reach out to the conditioned soul. We all believe that Lord Jagannath is the Lord of the universe. We all believe that Radha Kunda is the holiest of all places. We all believe so many things the same, even though we are so spread out. That is the symptom of what we call a world religion. And that has protected us. When the Duma in Russia was going to prohibit all the religions in Russia which have some American origin, they didn't want this American influence in Russia. So they made this meeting and they had a big list, and the Duma, the investigators, they invited Gabriele Johann from Germany, who was the expert in the Senate for interreligious affairs. She was invited to Moscow to give some help to find out which group is what. When they came to the Hare Krishnas were on the list to be prohibited for its American origin. Then Gabriele Johann told them, no, this is not American. This is an Indian religion, an Indian world religion, Hindu Vaishnava. So then they said, well, how do you prove that? So she opened on the screen the website of the World Vaishnava Association. That website showed that we had many spiritual masters. They're all from India, and they have different groups around the world. And this is all called Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha. Seeing this evidence, the Duma gave the freedom for Krishna consciousness to continue to exist and spread in Russia. Very few people know this story. And there's other stories in Poland also. I've told these stories before. Some of you must have heard them. But the fact is, when the Bhagavad Gita of Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Bhagavad Gita as it is, when that was supposed to be prohibited by the Russian Orthodox Church from a court case in Tomsk, then there was defense came up, and the Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha, through the help of some important members like Siddha Swarupananda Acharya, they helped to finance the court case in defense of the Bhagavad Gita. There was 2 instances, first and second, and in both instances, the devotees won, and the Bhagavad Gita was not taken away from public availability and condemned to be a prohibited book in Russia. So these things are just little histories of the Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha. But what if any of our devotees in any of the small dictatorship countries get problems? We need the Vaishnava world religion status. And that status we have by our existence and by our backing from Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha India, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, the supporters of those who are in India, who believe that Prabhupada actually is Shakti Avesh Avatar, who took this message all around the world. And it just goes on. You know, a Vaishnava world religion will always be respected. And it is our duty to work in such a way and to present ourselves in our respective countries as a Vaishnava world religion. That is essential. That will make our preaching more protected and more successful. And in this way, the year 2020 shall be a year of strengthening our ties, begging our acharyas to come and join these meetings, even if they only come for 5 or 10 minutes and give some nectar talk. Like one of the next subjects are coming up for discussion is Dwaraka, pilgrimage to Dwaraka, the importance of the holy place of Dwaraka from the Gaudiya Vedanta, Gaudiya Vaishnava point of view. So we are asking the acharyas to prepare their Guru Varga information about it. And in this way, actually, you know, there's so much nectar to be obtained from our great acharyas, like Srila Bhakti Prapantirtha Maharaj and all the others. When I went to see Bhakti Sundar Sannyasi Maharaj from Bagbazar Gaudiya Math, he said he had no time at that time to join our meeting. We recorded a bhajan of his, which soon we will present here if we get a better communication with the transmission of videos, because if they're not very clearly understandable, then it is not very satisfying. Anyhow, we will try our best on this platform, and we wish everyone here present to take the spirit of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha deep into their heart. Now, there's another expansion, like in our Vrinda mission in South America. Our mission is being spread into so many branches through so many spiritual masters. You could say almost 60 of them. And of course, they don't speak English. So they go to the translation of Jiva Goswami in the Facebook. But there's so many people in the world trying to spread Krishna consciousness. And they all need the guidance of the great devotees. They all need that. This is the greatest treasure we have, to be able, because South Americans for going to India is close to impossible. It is so costly. Same price a ticket to India costs is the same price you can build a small hut to live with your family. And many people, they don't have a hut to live with their family. So we are poverty stricken. And now after COVID, it is even much worse. So in this condition, this unity created by a Zoom call, this unity created by Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha, it is something like life support. Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha is potentially life support for the small preachers in the many different places where hardly any sannyasi will reach. Traveling sannyasis from the Gaudiya Math, if they come, this is highly appreciated. But the local devotees, they need this life support of unity. And you can bring that to one sentence. It's called Vaishnava universal love. Unless we feel this Vaishnava universal love, how can we put our whole energy and our whole life into the Siddhanta, which our Guru Deva is teaching us? We need this life support. This is my point of view, and thank you for listening. 2020, big advancement against all the forces of Tamaguna. We have to understand, like Patita Pavana, he was writing an article where he says the root cause of all ill today is this materialistic philosophy, materialistic society. Society which is ignoring all spiritual realities, all spiritual nectar, and simply relying on some silly Darwinistic interpretation that life and matter are not different. It's all one. And that means it's all without any higher significance. So therefore, let's preach Atato Brahma Jigyasa, vegetarianism, Bhagavad Gita, let's preach Harinam Sankirtan, and let's preach amongst each other Vaishnava universal love. Thank you very much. Radhe Sham, Jai Guru Deva Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and all the other Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas connected with this Sangha, directly or indirectly.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your sweet words.
Thank you very much.
Very nice. Very inspiring words, very clear, and yes, to see how as different Vaishnavas have given their lives for Krishna, and also how we can continue feeling inspired and develop this Krishna's consciousness, this message that Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada have led us on the propagating the holy name of the Lord. Actually, that was what Nityananda Prabhu was continue, and by the instruction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is God himself, that at this time it is not just the giving one philosophy or one religion as other philosopher has done around the world. They did it giving Prema Bhakti on this holy name. So it's amazing. Thank you very much.